Hello, 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 everyone. This is Stephanie of YouTube Tips and More. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I want to get some advertisement out of the way. Sponsor is $5 Jewelry Paradise, an independent consultant of Terry Donald. You can find her information listed below for her warehouse, her website, and Facebook, where you can peruse her content and enjoy. Now, today's topic is, as you see on the screen, improve 1%. Now, I'm always saying I always try to improve 1%. Now, what does that mean? That means that when you film, I'm trying to get the reflection out of my eyes, guys. When you make a video, that you need to work on improving from your last video. You look at your video and this reflection is worrying me. When you look at your video and you can see mistakes you made in your video. So it's best that you try to look at them and try to get that improvement in. Now, I'm going to share with you some things from my video collection and show you how I worked on improving as I went along. Now, don't laugh. This is actually my very first video. First of all, you hear the ticking sound of that camera. Yeah, I bought this little cheap
Here's a
cheesy
completed look
camera,
of my breakfast nook.
and let me
Thank you
turn off the
for
sound on
watching.
that one. I bought this cheap little cheesy film camera off of I forgot where I bought it at, and I was trying to be professional with this, right, and film it, and it made so much noise. And then in the background, you hear the TV. So you see how dark and how the noise of the camera and the background is in there and how everything
Here's a
is
completed look
shaking.
of my breakfast nook. Thank you for watching.
Now, that was that was actually my first video. The one before that was just a test run. It was basically snaps of pictures. Now, what I've learned since then is that, let me stop this over here. This is worrying me too. What I have learned since then is that I needed a better camera for one thing. And then the next thing is I need to work on my sound. Now, I always try to work on different things. So let me show you the very first video. Now here, all it was a lot of slides. I took pictures of the things and made it into this and added music to it. And that was the actual first video that I put out on YouTube. I did my first Thanksgiving table. Hi, Stacy. Tell them I said thank you. So that was the first video, well, clipping that I put out was the Thanksgiving table, where it was just basically me putting a lot of different pictures together to make the video. Okay, the glasses are reflecting too much for me. So I noticed that I needed to get a better camera and trying to improve on my sound because the sound was horrible in that first video. So then I took it up a step and I made this video.
And I picked up a couple of things there that I think made the table look a lot better. As you see, the napkin choices that were chosen are the turquoise napkins with the white napkin rings.
Now on this one, I'm still having the shakes. I'm trying to do too much with my hands and do this video. And I was trying something new by including my picture on the top there. Yeah, that was a no. I should have did that. And I was really trying to improve what I was doing. Thank you, Stacy. I was really trying to improve what I was doing as far as being a YouTuber. I was still new to the game here. I think this may have been maybe, I want to say, maybe my sixth or seventh, maybe my eighth or so video. And I was really happy about this table, the play settings, because I had just ordered this whole set off of eBay and I got it at a really cheap price. So, one thing on here too is that the lighting is yellow. Hi, Penny. The lighting is yellow, and then the sound is not very good in this video either. So I said, okay, that's two things I need to work on. I need to get a better camera. I need to speak clearer. Hey, Marlene. Thank you. I needed to speak clearer and make sure that I said all my words correctly. And I needed to do a lot of things I saw. So each time I did the video, yes, I really worked on my lighting. And that's the next thing I was going to talk about here was
And it's
look at the
hosted by
lighting here.
Hillary of Old World Home. So, guys, if you
My lighting here is horrible. I look like I'm sitting in a cave. And then as I went on in the video, it still didn't really help because it was so dark. And even though I was facing a lamp, it still had the darkness. And then it was thanks to my sister that I got the lighting kit. Now she saw this video and she says, okay, I've had enough of the darkness and the dark moves that you're doing. She says, you need a light kit. So my sister took it upon herself. One day I received a package in the mail. And when the mail came from Amazon, I'm like, I didn't order anything. What is this? But it was addressed to me. So I'm like, I don't get this. What is this? I didn't order nothing, right? So then the phone rang and it was my sister. She said, did you get the package? And I'm like, I got a package from Amazon. She said, yeah, open the package. And in the package, it was the light kit that I'm presently using. It's two larger lights, two tall ones with the umbrellas, and the smaller light. And oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked her. I'm trying to help her get out there a little bit more. So she ordered me the light kits to help make my videos a little clearer, a little brighter. And then I went into and I kept looking at my videos. And as you see on this one, I ordered the microphone and I started wearing that mic and it's hooked up to my cell phone. So when I moved around, it was clearer. Now, what I did wrong here is the way I have it clipped on. Normally, I would take it and put it under my shirt and clip it where you wouldn't see the wire. That's a blessing. I have lighting, but it need replacement light bulbs. I went on Amazon, Penny, and picked up my lights. Because when we moved, the movers broke two of them to be exact. So I went in and I ordered on Amazon, I ordered two more lights and got my lights going. And I'm grateful that my sister sent me that gift of the light kit because I kept saying I was going to get me a light kit. I was going to get me a light kit. I was going to get me a light kit. And I never got the light kit. So each time I did a video, I started doing, getting my pencil and I write down, okay, you need to sit up straight. You need to look into the camera. You need to speak clearer. I'm still looking for, you know what, Stacy? I'm doing a video the week after next to talk about mics. So come back then and I'm going to show you the ones that I have. And maybe this will give you a help on picking out some or getting to that area. Yes, the lights really do help. Now, what I started doing in my videos, when I started making them, I started looking at the one before and I would have my pad and I would go, okay, move your light angle, whirl your mic a little closer, make notes of what you're doing wrong, sit straight, look in the camera, Speak clearer. Have all your gadgets near you. Like if you're going to be showing something in the video, like if I was speaking about a phone rest, I need to have my phone rest near me. I don't want to have to be bumbling and looking for the phone rest. It's right here. I learned to get all the things that I needed for the videos and have them there. And I needed to make sure that things were in reach, because sometimes things would be so far away I had to lean out of sight to get them when I would show a haul or like doing a lesson. I would always try to make sure I kept the things where if I have a turn, they were right here. If I had to pick it up, it was right here. I didn't have to get up and go get it or go find it. I wanted to make sure that I stayed on cue, and I wanted to make sure that nothing was moving, nothing was falling. I made sure that I got me a new tripod, and the tripod I got holds a cell phone. So I made sure that it was steady, that the camera was sitting right, that it was tight enough. So each time I did a video, what angle do you keep your lights at? Okay, I will link that video for you. I have a light setup video on YouTube Tips and More channel. I have a light, it's a 3-system light up, and it's on there. So I will let me get the link. Let me look for the link while I'm sitting here. Let me go to my content. I didn't mean to do that. I hit the wrong button. My bad, y'all. Okay, let's see. You need to go to studio and go to my content. And I need to look for, okay, let me get the code for it. Now, I'm going to put the code here at the bottom. That is the link to the video that I have for my lighting that shows you how to set your lighting up, because it's a three stand, correctly speak, a 3-point lighting that your light should be at. And I always try to have that if I'm sitting, like when I do on the other side, I always have my 3 lights up. I've been a lot in the U-Haul videos. It's natural. Yes, it is. It's new tongue. It is natural to bend in your haul videos. But if you have to get up out of your seat to go get it and bring it back, that's not a good thing. People know in haul videos that things are sitting around you up and down, and they know you're going to grab it. So that part is not a lot of, that's not a, I want to say a negative, because you do want to be moving and showing your things in your haul. You say it's a natural movement. True. You don't want to like a robot where you're just sitting there going, everything is reachable in a reachable area. You don't want it to be where you get up and go get the merchandise. If you have to get up and go get something, pause your camera, then go get it and bring it back, and then start your camera and then go into opening the evidence, your package or whichever, because you don't want people to have all that different space of you going to get something and come back. You should have everything when you get ready to start. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you another video to show the improvement. Okay. On this video, my camera is not shaking like the other one. I'm getting better with the camera. I have a stick now that I put it on that's supposed to be helping me with shake proof, because my hands do shake. And then I'm taking my time now of going over the items. I'm not moving as fast as I was before. I'm showing more of the detail. So it's all about improvement. When you look at your own videos, you see where you mess up at, where you need help at, where you need to improve on. You see that yourself. Because I know when I do my own videos, I always look at my videos to see, oh, Stephanie, why didn't you stand this way? Why didn't you stand back a little bit? Why didn't you, when you were talking, stand up straight, shoulders back like you would talk? Why do you I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember, but I know when I learned how to walk in heels, of stairs to learn to walk, one foot in front of the proper walking that a woman should do, that you have to book on your head and you have to walk straight and go one foot in front of the other with the book on your head. That's how I was taught. And then when I wore heels and started coming out in the little wedges, my mama made me put the book on my head and walk with the wedges, one foot in front of the other to walk properly, like a woman is supposed to walk, not all hunched back and bent over. She had me to learn how to walk straight and walk like you should walk, not walking like you humping and dumping. You have to walk properly as a woman. And that's the way my mother taught me. So that's what I try to do with my videos. I try to improve 1% every time. I do critique myself a lot and totally forget on the next video. That's why I write my notes down. I write them down. And before I film my next video, I look at my notes from my last video. And it said, if I say on there, stay in this, do whatever, I try to make sure I would sit there and say that, okay, you need to stand straight. You need to stand a little bit to the right. You need to hold your chin up a little bit more. And I try to do that every video. If I'm in the video, I try to remember, chin up, look into the camera. Now, if you have a problem like I do sometimes of looking into my camera, now on your phone, you have a little camera here, the little dot. And when you're filming with your phone, you need to be looking for that dot and talk. When you're talking, you look at that dot on the camera because you're looking to your people's eyes, okay? When you're looking at the screen like I'm doing now, it's like I'm not looking at you. But if I look at my camera, then it's like I'm talking directly to you. So there are little tricks that I try to learn each time. Now, before, when I had a problem with talking to the camera, I took a picture of my grandbabies and I took a picture and I taped it to the very bottom of my camera. So when I'm looking at it, was on my pod, on my tripod, I taped it there. And so when I looked into the camera, I'm looking at my grandbabies because their head was right below the dot. So I'm looking at my grandbabies and I'm talking to them. Like I would come on, hello, this is Stephanie of creativelymsme, decorating on a budget. Now in today's episode, we will be discussing blah, blah, blah. Now, if you're interested in that, you know what to do. Stick around. Before, I was so nervous, I would be looking everywhere. I wouldn't look at the camera because I was so nervous of looking into that lens. Now, when I'm talking to an individual, I don't have a problem talking to them eye to eye because I was taught to look at a person in their face, pay attention, look into their eyes when you're talking to them. And so I don't have a problem doing that when I'm sitting talking one-on-one or even in a group of people. But when I got on camera, it was like, oh, man. It was like, I kind of felt like getting on camera was sitting in the audience and talking to the football stadium worth of people. That's how I felt at first. I was so nervous of talking on the screen. But with time, you improve 1% each time. If you have a problem with that, now they have this little ring thing, and I can't find it. I think my daughter still has it. It's a little ring clamp with a light on it that you can put on your phone. It clips right over your camera, and there's a little light. And if that helps, get that and click that on your camera, where you know where your camera is, and you know where to look at, because that helps a lot too. That gave me the point to look at that dot on my phone. So each time I did something, I always made my notes. I always wrote down, okay, Stephanie, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to make sure that your hair is not hanging this way. You need to make sure that your hair is this way. You need to make sure that you don't wear that earrings anymore. You need to make sure that when you go on that your lips are not chapped. You need to make sure when you go on that your face is moisturized. You need to make sure when you go on that your glasses are exactly clean. You need to make sure when you go on that you brush your teeth before. You don't want any food in your teeth. There's several things I used to always be paranoid about, but as I started writing stuff down after each video, it made it a little easier because then I had my notes where I could see them and go, okay, sit straight. Okay, look into the camera. All right, so remember to smile. Smile. And one thing also too, I learned that helps when you are doing a voiceover, if you smile when you're doing a voiceover, it makes it sound like you're exciting and you are an expert at what you're doing, baby. Because that really helps. Those little things are so helpful. Yes, Penny, those little things help a lot. I had my notes there and I had to remember. All right, Stephanie, when you're sitting there and you're sitting straight and you're smiling, you have to remember that these people are your friends. So you're talking to your girlfriend, you're talking to your guy friend. So you're sitting there and you're talking to them and you helping them at the best of your ability. Now, whatever you're talking about, make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you've done your homework, making sure that you're trying to find something that will help your friends. So yes, we have to do our videos for our viewers' perspective. Yes, that goes a long way. Yes, you're right. And I learned that the 1% check, I always call it my 1% check. After I do a video and I've read my notes from the previous video and I do my next video, I look and see, yes, you held your chin up. Yes, you looked into the camera. Yes, you did this. You did that. Whatever I saw that was a shortcoming in my last video, I try to make sure that I check it off in that video to see if I did it. And if I did it, great. And then I look, okay, what did I miss this time? What did I do right? Okay, I need to make sure this is here. This is here. If you take notes after your own videos and then make a key point, bullet points of what you need to improve, and that 1% each video, your videos, you'll see them improving, improving, improving. Because my first video on camera, it was horrible. My first speaking on the video was horrible. I think I had to, my husband said, write it down, Stephanie. And at that time, we were engaged. So I had to write down what I was going to say because I was bumbling so and falling so over my own words. I had to write it down. And the main thing I was bumbling over was my intro. And once I got that intro under control, then there was no more bumbling because I would sit there and write my intro down and go, hello, I am Stephanie of YouTube Tips and More. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 1% improving. And then I would tell you before I couldn't do that. I would go, and I always did, So I had to take steps on trying not to say, trust you. My sister and my niece would watch my videos and count how many times I said, Then they would send me a text. You said 85 times. You said 22 times. I would get those text messages from them. So I had to start getting to the point where instead of saying I would take a breath. So it would be, hi, how are you doing? I'm doing great today. So I wouldn't say I'm doing great today. I would take a breath when I felt the coming. So it's just little techniques and little things, just little things you think that don't matter that will help you. You can even sit in the mirror and practice saying your intro. You can be in the mirror and practice your outro. You could be sitting and record yourself. Just sit in front of the camera and record yourself. You don't have to be doing a video. Just record yourself doing your intro or saying something that you want to say in your video. Now, I used to say, hi, I'm Stephanie of creativelymsme, decorating on a budget. And I would talk about, see how I did, I didn't take my breath. I would talk about my social media channels. and asking them to subscribe. And if they like my videos, to comment, to do a thumbs up. I would go through all that, which everybody does. But what I started doing was I put the thumbs up thing in the video in the middle, and then I would have a subscribe button that'll come up at the beginning, like so far in the beginning and at the end. So that would kept me from saying, please subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I have those accents things put in my videos now. But I think one thing that I might need to go back into saying is about my social media platforms, because I do have a second channel. I do have a website, and I do have that listed on the corner. Let's see, I always forget to call. Yeah, that's why I put that in there. That's why I put the buttons that pop up and say, subscribe. I had to get that button because I was like, I need to do the call to action twice, one at the beginning and one at the end, when they get close to the end, so they could subscribe to my channel. I try to make sure that a lot of things that I was taught, a lot of things that I picked up along the way, that I twisted them to make them work for me. Because what works for somebody else may not necessarily work for you. Because at the beginning, I was trying to be like another YouTuber. I was trying to say the exact same thing she was saying, but putting my name on it or whatever. But I was trying to do her. And to keep up the pretense of being someone else, after a while, it gets old and tired. And my sister and my daughter both told me, who is that on that video? I don't know who that woman is on that video. That ain't my sister. That's not my mother. My mother and sister wouldn't be that way. They would do this and that and that. And then my sister said, and besides, you funny. How come nobody sees you as you funny? You make people laugh. Why don't that happen on your videos? And then my daughter was telling me that I seemed tense. I was, because I was so nervous. But then as I got used to being on the camera a little bit more and a little bit more, I'm not so intense, still a little nervous sometimes, but not so tense about it. I remember I was asked about the pigment. I was asked, was I burnt? No, I was not burnt. I have vitiligo. And if you don't know what that is when you lose the pigment in your skin. Well, my dermatologist told me that my pigment is fighting, and that's why I'm polka dotted. But if my pigment wasn't fighting, I would be totally white. See how my arms are? But I had to get used to me, and I'm comfortable in my skin. And so I had to make sure that I was putting my best foot forward and showing you the real Stephanie, and not pieces of other YouTubers that I saw along the way. So that's one thing you have to do. You have to be comfortable in you. Hi, Denise. It's okay. You have to be comfortable in you. And if when you look at your own videos, like I showed you this one,
Record the sequence with you.
you see the
As
shakiness
you see in front of me, this is my breakfast
and
nook.
the volume
I have
on
the
that
glass
one
top table with the dark.
compared to this one. See the growth? That's growth. That 1%, guys, that 1%, just check yourself. Just look at your own videos and write down bullet points of what you need to improve. If you need to improve your lighting, if you need a mic, you need a better mic. Like I was telling Stacy, and not next week, I think it's the week after. Let me make sure that I am doing a lesson on microphones. Let's see. I know next week, I could move it to next week to make it easier. Yeah, I'll move it to next week, Stacy. Well, we can do the mics next week. So you can see I have, I think, 4, maybe 5 different mics. but it's one that I always use on my lives when I'm sitting in front of the computer. I always use the same one. I love it. When I first saw it on someone else's channel and saw them using it and seeing how clear they sound, I went looking for it. It's not expensive. Trust me, girl, my pocket don't say them expensive mics. Some of those mics prices, my pocket say low, low, low. So all my mics, so it's interesting to watch older videos in pro. Yes, you see the growth from the first video to this video. The growth is so much better. When I look back on it, I cracked up. But the microphones I use, they're not very expensive at all, but they're good mics. I have this one in front of me. Then I have a wireless one that hooks up to my phone, a cord, one with the cord, and I think it's another one. I think I have 4 mics. I think, but they are budget friendly mics because my pocket is on a budget. So I'll do that next week. I'll make sure I pull out all my mics since we moved and I've put my things here in this office. I know where all my mics are. They're right at hand. Like here's a mic in here, and then I have a mic in here, and then I have another mic. I try to keep them close to me so that when I need them, that they're already accessed. Like one of them has to be charged up, and then the other one doesn't. I think this is the one that has to be charged. Yeah, this one here has to be charged, and it has this little clip on it. But we'll go into detail on them next week. That way I can share with you all the different mics, and then you can make your own decision about the one that's better for you. I try to improve, like I said, 1%. I try to make sure, yes, you're right, Denise, we have to grow and we must be ourselves. I try to improve each video. I try to make sure that what I'm going to talk about, that I have what I need, my materials. So that's one thing too. I've seen some people when they're doing a video that they don't have all the information there. And then if they do, they don't have a mic and they sound kind of hollow, like they're in a closet talking to you in a empty, well, they sound like, you know how when you're in a new home, an empty house, and you're talking and you have all that echo, that's what they sound like. And some of them sound like they're underwater. And then some of them are doing great videos, but they're so back from the phone or the camera, you barely hear what they're saying. And then you have to really turn your volume up on your computer, your phone, or whatever to understand what they're saying. So a little improvement each time, a little bit more improvement, a little bit more each video, and you'll see the difference in your growth. Because I shared with you my bumble thumbles, and because my very first video was garbage. It was literally garbage. And then, like from today, the lighting I have today sitting here in front of you is better compared to the lighting in this video. The light in this video is horrible, but I did have a bright light on in the room, but it wasn't bright enough. And then you look at the video today, it's bright. I'm using my light from my light kit. So everything is an improvement. See, I purchased a really good one, and then my iPhone broke, and I had to replace the mic. Was no longer compatible to the new phone. It's still sitting. Why is it not compatible? Was it an iPhone that you had before when you got the first mic? Because normally, if it's the same kind of brand phone, like an iPhone, and you get a mic for an iPhone, when you get a new one, the software can be updated, or you can update it to make it work with your new phone. So that's something you need to research, Stacy. You need to see if there is an update for that particular microphone that it'll work with your phone. If you can't find it, then of course YouTube, type in the name of your phone, how to use this mic with the Apple, with the iPhone, whatever. Yes, the port on my phone was different. You can buy an adapter. You need to look on Amazon for an adapter for that phone to the new phone cord adapter. It's all about looking for adapters. Amazon has 18 million adapters. Look for an adapter for your own phone to the new phone. You could put in there like I have a Galaxy Galaxy Samsung. So I could put in a search Amazon looking for an adapter to transfer my phone from a Samsung 10 to a Samsung 23. And they will have that adapter. And the adapter is probably a little cord about this long. It probably won't cost you no more, maybe $9, $10. So always, girl, ask me. I keep up with stuff, and then what I don't really understand, sometimes I'll call my son. Because I taught my son and my daughter both computers because I was a computer major going to school while they were in elementary school. So they know a lot about computers, and they have foregrown me. So my son is great with computers. So when I see something like I wanted to learn, After Effects, Adobe, and I was playing with it, but I couldn't get it to do what I quite wanted to do. I called my son and I told him. He said, "Well, Mama, try this, that, and the other." I said, "Okay," and I got to playing with it, and no, it was Photoshop. And his wife came in and said, "Okay, you don't think you need to call your mom and see if she needs some help?" He said, "If Mom hasn't called me back, that means she got it. If she needs help, why is this popping up? If she needs help, then she will definitely call me." Now, I have two monitors. And like now I'm talking on this one, but I have the one here. And like when I'm editing my films, I edit on one screen, and then I go to the other to do my thumbnails because I already have in my head what my thumbnail is going to be before I started editing the video. Because what we learned with Sean Kennel, am I right, Denise? You should already know what your thumbnail is before you start your recording. He always says that your thumbnail should be the first thing you think about before you even start recording your video. You should already know, okay, I'm doing a video on cleaning my kitchen. So I need to get a shot of my kitchen before I start. Take that picture, a couple of shots of different angles of my kitchen before I start cleaning it. So I already have my thumbnail shots done. And then while I'm editing my video, I work on my thumbnail. Because that's one thing I have trying to do better. Yes, thumbnail and title, you should already know. I always try to do my thumbnail before I even start. I try to get my picture done. If I'm going to do the picture of a table setting and I know that I want to do it of just one setting of a plate setting, then I set it up on the table by itself and take a picture, click, and then take it off and then film my whole video. Sometimes I do it that way, or sometimes I wait till the video is over. I'm filming the video and I'll take a picture of that setting. I already know what my thumbnail is before I start, because that's a better way of getting the concept of your video together. If you know what your thumbnail is, then you can play off your thumbnail to do your video. It makes it a lot easier when planning. And your title, if you sit there and you think about, okay, I've been trying to get away from how to do a tablescape. I've been trying to get away from that, even though that's how people search. People will search how to decorate a table for spring. How do you do this? I try to get away from that how to title, even though I know it's a good title, but there are other ways of saying it to get the same shopping. if you understand what I'm saying. YouTube now is offering a thing that'll help you with your titles. So always try to work on your title and your thumbnail. Always have those in your head or written down before you start filming. That 1%, y'all, that 1% is a lot more than you think. If you do something each video better than your last one, then you've accomplished that 1%. And you'll see your growth in yourself in that 1% change in each video. 1%. Have to go. Thank you. Good night, Marlene. I always try to improve, guys. It's a great thing to do. I've been working on it. Sean Kittle pushes it all the time, so I try to improve 1%. No, I am not the best of be all, because if I was, I'd have more subscribers. But I do my best. I try to improve 1% each time. One day, one of my videos is going to go viral and I'm going to find the people I want. One day, God is going to open that door for me, because there's some things that I know I'm not doing that He wants me to do. And that's why He's holding me back. So I am going to let you guys go, because it's time for Penny Show. And I know a lot of you guys go over to Penny's, and I want to hear what she's talking about tonight as myself. So I want to thank you all for showing up for me tonight and being here to learn about 1% improvement. And I want to thank my replay people. I love you to death. You know you do a girl right. Don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. It doesn't hurt you, but it helps me. And I'll see you next week when we talk about microphones. Bye-bye, y'all.